Dave Welsh from the Fray. Welcome to noise11.com, and very shortly, welcome back to Australia for the first time in over a decade.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time. I mean, we had you down here for numerous tours since the band first started, and then suddenly we have this 10-year gap. Did we upset you last time?
No, I think we upset ourselves. I think we had to sort it out and then come back.
Yeah. But there's been some great live performances over the years down here. You must have good memories of your time in Australia.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, we had, it's always been fun down there. I think it never feels like we're there long enough.
The audience do know the songs, don't they? I mean, the success in this country has been probably some of the best success that this band has had anywhere in the world.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was very surprising when it first happened down there, and then it kind of kept going, and we're like, oh my God, we get to go back here? This is awesome.
There seems to be three levels of American who knows about Australia. The ones that learnt through Crocodile Dundee, the ones that learnt through The Simpsons, and the ones that knew AC/DC.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Which one were you?
Oh, probably Simpsons. Yeah, if I had to guess.
Oh, wow. I was expecting an AC/DC answer there.
I had big Simpsons face as a kid. Big Simpsons face.
The Fray is back. 6 brand new songs. Is this the way to introduce Joe King as the new lead singer of the band?
Yeah, it is. We tried in vain to come up with a more clever title. And then we thought, well, it's been long enough. I think we can say this and it be honest. And yeah, it was, I think it's a good introduction to whatever happens next. These songs being probably the first of many more with him at the helm.
And how did the departure of Isaac first impact the band?
I mean, it was tough. We've known each other for so long and worked so much together. And I mean, it happened kind of on the heels of the first wave of COVID craziness. The understatement of the century is that COVID was a challenging time for everybody, made everybody probably a little bit more introspective. And so I think we all kind of looked in the mirror, asked ourselves if we wanted to keep doing this. Once we could do it again, once shows were possible again. And I think, he made a decision that I think he had been probably thinking about for a long time, and we wished him well. And we're kind of like, well, okay, cool, man. Well, as long as you're cool with it, we're going to keep doing it. And he gave us his blessing, and so we're going.
Was there a discussion with him before he put it up on his socials?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had many, I mean, we've all known each other since I've known Ben, the drummer, since I was 10. So, I mean, we've known each other so long. There's plenty of communication, even if we couldn't get physically together during the first handful of months of COVID. But we had plenty of discussion that wasn't a news to us.
And how quickly was the discussion about having Joe as the lead singer as opposed to bringing someone new into the band?
Oh, that's a good question. It was a fairly organic process in the sense that I don't think it was a top of mind for any of us, including Joe. I think it was probably it was a scary thing. It was an unknown thing, whatever. He'd obviously been a vocalist in the band, but never that role. I don't know if when the three of us first started talking, if we really knew what us working meant yet. I think we just figured, let's get together and see if there's still some creative energy. And if there is, we'll go from there. And then we can have another conversation. And it kind of just moved forward. And there was a show a couple years back, kind of a random show in the States, pretty low pressure at maybe a theme park or a zoo or something. And we took it before I think the three of us were totally sure that this was the shape of the group we were thinking, but we kind of took it and we're like, let's just try it out, see what happens. And Joe was down to try and like cram lyrics like a test. And it went better than I think all of us expected. And so we're like, all right, let's just roll with it. Let's, one foot in front of the other and keep going.
I think the great precedent for promoting from within comes from Genesis, when
Absolutely.
Peter Gabriel left and Phil Collins comes in as the lead singer. It's a very similar story.
Yeah, no, that definitely. I mean, partly because we all love them, but that gets referenced quite a bit.
The 6 new songs, every single one of them, you have had the chance to perform live already.
Yeah.
So were they written so that they could be showcase pieces for a Fray live set?
I think there was, early on in the discussions, there was a collective decision that if we were going to go out and play shows again, just the three of us this time, that we didn't want to just immediately enter the sort of like legacy band realm where you're not putting out new stuff, you're just playing the old material. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that model. It just didn't sound like what the three of us wanted to do. And so we were always contemplating and trying to arrange some new songs for the purpose of integrating them into a live show. We finally got the chance to do that last fall in the States. And I think it went well.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing what it sounds like when you get down here, as well as a whole lot of interesting cover versions. You've been doing some very interesting songs in the set list. Vampire, the Olivia Rodrigo song. Lose You to Love Me, Selena Gomez. Who comes up with
I've heard that one a couple times.
Okay, so who decides what the song will be?
That's a good question. I mean, we have a text thread between the three of us and our two hired players that are out with us right now. And it's a very open forum when it comes to that as far as cover ideas. And so I don't remember who suggested Lose You to Love Me, but all of us were like, let's try it. Sure. It's super moody. We're moody. Let's do it.
What was your decision? Have you been the one that's actually picked the song at any point?
No, probably not yet. Actually, that's not true. We have a little musical interlude that we have been doing, and we that's a good question whether we'll do it by the time we get down there, but we have been doing it, and it is a instrumental song off of an Oasis album, and that was definitely my suggestion. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a very left of center. I mean, it sounds like an Oasis song. So, and we don't sound like Oasis. So, but I grew up loving them. So I was like, well, let's put that in there for fun. And it's a way for Joe to get off stage and, have a drink or something. And I get to play guitar for an hour, minute and a half or whatever.
That's Fucking in the Bushes, that track.
Sure is. Yeah.
Mm. We can say it. This is Australia.
I didn't know what the rules here on the internet. I guess there are no rules on the internet, right?
Oh, you can't say fuck on the internet.
Yeah.
When we look at How to Save a Life, I was actually surprised that, this song is more than 20 years old now.
In hindsight, it did go quickly. It's crazy how, those memories of writing it in Ben's grandfather's barn are visceral, and they're right there. I can think of them. I can access them immediately. So it is pretty insane to think that that much time has elapsed with something that has also been so present every day. I guess it's a little bit like watching a kid grow up, in a way. You see them every day and you don't really see the change. And then 20 years into it, you're like, oh my God, you're an adult now. This is wild.
And I think it's one of those songs that has never not been on the radio. So we're constantly hearing the things. So it doesn't really tend to age like something that
never took a break
and comes back.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not your biggest hit in Australia. You
Is that
Me.
true?
You Found Me was number 1, and How to Save a Life was number 2.
Oh, isn't that? I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah.
Good to know.
We might have to flip the set list then, because How to Save a Life sort of pops up at the end, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you do a song like that, when it's so well known, and you don't do it in the main set, and then you go off, and then you're going to come back and do an encore, there's no surprise for the audience, I guess, at that point, is it? When there's just one song to go.
Yeah. Not really. It's like it's one of those moments where everybody knows, everybody's in on the secret, everybody knows what's going to happen. but somehow it doesn't take away from the payoff, which is interesting.
Mm.
I mean, I guess I would have thought it probably would have at this point. I would have thought, 15 years in, people are like, oh my God, they're going to do it again. They're going to go off the stage. But it's still, it's received in a way, at least I receive it on stage as this is exactly the way they wanted this moment to go. They wanted this audience wanted to think it wasn't going to get played. We come off, we play it in the encore, and everybody freaks out. It's fantastic. It still goes.
Have you ever not done it?
No. I don't think we have. One time we very very early on we opened for Ben Folds. I think on the first album that he made after Ben Folds 5. In the first era of his kind of his solo project. And he did this moment, I'll never forget it, in Madison, Wisconsin, where he goes on and he plays one song and then he goes off for an encore. He goes off stage for like 5 minutes. And I thought just the balls to do that was so impressive. And actually then we tried doing that one time years later. We thought it'd be a really funny idea and it landed like a lead brick. It was so bad. So I don't think we've ever tried to do anything that courageous before yet.
When I look at the number of hits that you've had down here, Over My Head Cable Car, that was like your first hit pretty much everywhere in the world. What was the impact like on your life when suddenly there was this song that, everybody out there, outside your home knew?
I mean, at that point in time, it was very cool because I was so young. I was a kid. All of us were really just kids. And so having a song on the radio that people knew, it was cool enough when it was on the local station at home. And then when you realize that people everywhere were starting to hear it, at least in the States, and then progressed elsewhere. I mean, it was like a dream. It was something that I don't think any of us, it's what you said you wanted to do and what you said you thought you could do, but you never thought that was going to happen. And that did happen.
You look at that group of songs, Over My Head Cable Car, How to Save a Life, You Found Me, Never Say Never, Heartbeat, Run for Your Life, Love Don't Die. They're all songs that everybody in Australia knows from this band. So you've pretty much got a set list already just there. Then you've got your 6 new songs and then you got the cover. Is it that simple for this band to put together a set list? Because, pretty much writes itself, doesn't it?
Yeah. Somehow we make it so much more complicated than that, but it probably should be that easy. Yeah.
Maybe you can do an Aussie song as a cover.
There you go. There's a big catalog to choose from.
Oh, yeah. Have you got a favourite Australian band?
No, I don't know if I do have a favorite Australian band, but I will do some research from now until then.
Yeah. You can go back to Olivia Newton-John. It's okay exactly to say Olivia.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear the Fray doing Let's Get Physical.
As would I, actually. As would I.
That would be good. Well, Dave, it's going to be great to see the band back down in Australia. It's been way too long for the 2025 tour, but you're finally getting back down here, and look forward to seeing you when you get down here. Thanks for joining us at Noise 11.
Yeah. Thank you very much.